Welcome to Joyfully Unstoppable, a podcast for women who are ready to lead boldly, live lightly, and reclaim their joy. Whether you're leading a team, a classroom, a boardroom, or your own big, beautiful life, I am so glad you found us. I'm your host, Becky Ham, leadership coach, speaker, and founder of Women Lead Well. After years of high-level leadership, I discovered that success doesn't have to come at the cost of your peace, your values, or your well-being. Each week, we'll explore what it means to lead with clarity, confidence, and authenticity, even in a world that tells you to hustle harder and prove your worth. You carry a lot. Let's help it feel lighter. Today, we are looking at the daily to-do list dilemma. You wake up with the best of intentions, ready to lead, support, and make progress on all the things that matter most. You pour your coffee, open your planner, and overwhelm. Your daily to-do list is overflowing, and you are already behind again. And that's without any distractions or disruptions. For women leaders, that to-do list can feel both like a security blanket and a shame trap. We use it to stay on track. We use it to measure our worth, to try to do it all, but more often than not, it becomes a source of stress rather than clarity. But what if your daily to-do list didn't have to feel so heavy? What if it could become a tool that saved your leadership instead of one that demanded constant hustle? Today on the pod, we're going to explore how to simplify your daily to-do list in a way that still gets things done without dropping the ball, burning out, or betraying your values. Now, why does your daily to-do list feel so overwhelming? Well, let's be honest. Most of us aren't overwhelmed by our to-do list because we're bad at time management. We're overwhelmed because we're carrying too much. Women leaders in particular often juggle visible responsibilities like meetings, metrics, mentoring, as well as the invisible ones, right? The emotional labor, the team morale, home logistics, caregiving, and the pressure to live with strength and sensitivity while looking nice and having our hair and makeup. Add perfectionism, people-pleasing, the ever-present need to prove ourselves. And it's no wonder our daily to-do list starts to look like a scroll from a medieval manuscript, endless, ornate, and impossible to finish. We've been taught to believe that productivity equals worth, that if we just check more boxes, we'll feel accomplished, accepted, and at peace. But in truth, doing more doesn't always equal leading better. When our lists become a battleground for our identity, we lose sight of what matters most. So, let's redefine things. Let's talk about what your to-do list is for. Your daily to-do list is not a test. It is not a scoreboard. It's not a punishment for falling short yesterday. It's a tool. Period. And like any good tool, it works best when it's used for its purpose. And so instead, let's ask ourselves, what matters most today? A simplified daily to-do list doesn't mean you're doing less because you're lazy. It means you're doing less so you can lead more strategically. It means you're choosing your energy investments wisely so you can show up fully for your team, your vision, and yourself. Because here's the truth, prioritizing isn't selfish, it's leadership. Now, let's talk about a 5-part framework for a simpler daily to-do list. Let's walk through a practical, repeatable way to simplify your to-do list without dropping the ball. This 5-part framework helps you lead with clarity and calm, even when your world is full. Ideally, block 15 minutes at the end of your day to prepare tomorrow's list. That way you can walk in and hit the ground running, make the most of those precious, best rested hours of the day. Number 1, I want you to brain dump, then edit ruthlessly. Start by getting it all out. Every task, every thought, reminder, responsibility swirling around in your brain, dump it onto a page. This clears mental space, and it relieves that low-key anxiety of forgetting something. I have a mental load reset that I'll link in the show notes that you can download to help with this. And now, I want you to edit ruthlessly. You all hear me talk often about the Eisenhower matrix. These questions help you identify which tasks are important and/or urgent. So ask yourself, number 1, what is essential to get done today or tomorrow? Number 2, what aligns with my values and leadership priorities? Number 3, what makes real progress toward my key goals? Number 4, what's just noise or busyness? Number 5, which of these tasks light me up and which of these tasks drain me? And next, I want you to use the 4 Ds. Ditch, delegate, delay, do. Ditch. What can you immediately delete from your list? It's not important to you. It doesn't move the needle on any of your key goals. It doesn't give you energy. It's gone. You don't got to do it. Number 2, delegate. What can be handed off? Delegation is a leadership skill, not a sign of weakness, so use it. Delay. What can wait until tomorrow or next week, next month, and then do? What absolutely has to happen today and be done by you? Now, there shouldn't be more than 3 or 4 things on the do list. If you have more than that, keep ditching, delegating, and delaying until your list has shrunk. This step forces clarity. Instead of defaulting to, I'll just do it, it's fine, you begin making leadership-level decisions about your time and energy. Now 3, I want you to time block for flow, not perfection. Once you've narrowed your list, give each priority a time block on your calendar. Think in terms of rhythm, not rigidity. So don't micromanage every minute. Just create intentional space on the calendar for your focused work. Group similar tasks, build in margin, and block time for rest. And please give yourself some white space. Leadership isn't just about output. It's also about insight, reflection, and recovery. Number 4, protect your power hour. Choose 1 hour a day, preferably when your energy is highest, and devote it to your most important task. No multitasking, no distractions, just focused attention on what moves the needle. This simple shift can turn a chaotic day into a confident one. Even if everything else goes sideways, you'll have honored your priorities with intention and worked with your energy, not against it. Number 5, end with a reset ritual. Before you close your laptop or transition into evening mode, take 5 minutes to reset. What did you complete? What needs to move to tomorrow? What felt good? What felt forced? This micro-reflection builds self-trust. It sets you up for a more intentional leadership tomorrow. That's how you begin to lead not just with goals, but with groundedness. Now you might be saying, Becky, this sounds great, but I am never going to do it. So let's talk about how you're going to stay consistent with your daily to-do list. The best to-do list is the one you actually use, right? So here's how you're going to make it stick. You're going to pick a consistent planning time. I talked about doing it at the end of the day. That's what works with me, but you choose a rhythm that works for your brain and your season and do it that same way every day. If the morning makes more sense for you, every morning as you're drinking your cup of coffee, if it's a lunch break, do it over your lunch break, whatever works for you. But do it consistently day to day to day. Next, I want you to keep it visual. Use a sticky note, use a planner, a whiteboard, a digital tool you love. Don't keep it in your head. Remember, we're removing our mental load. Next, anchor it to a habit. Pair your planning time with your daily coffee, with a calendar check. Put some music on your favorite playlist. Fourth, I want you to celebrate your progress. Whether you're checking 1 thing or 5, acknowledge your intention and effort. Leadership isn't about perfection. It's about presence and persistence. Remember, the goal isn't to finish your list every day, although I will admit that feels pretty great when it happens. It's to feel confident that what's on your list matters, that the work you're doing matters. Now, here's what you gain when you stick with a simplified daily to-do list. When you stop measuring your day by how many things you can squeeze in, and when you start focusing on what truly matters, you begin to experience a powerful shift in your leadership and in your life. Here's what becomes possible when you simplify your to-do list. You get clarity on what actually matters. A simplified list forces you to ask better questions. What's truly important today? What really aligns with my values and long-term vision? Instead of reacting to every request and obligation because you know they're a ton, you start leading with intention. This clarity frees you from the trap of busyness and brings focus to your day so you can spend more time on what moves the needle and less time on what drains your energy. You build confidence by following through on fewer but more meaningful actions. When your list is realistic and aligned, you're more likely to complete it. And that builds trust with yourself. Each day becomes a mini victory. Instead of ending the day with guilt over what didn't get done, you end it with pride in what you did because you did it with purpose. That consistency compounds into confidence, and confidence fuels leadership that's both powerful and grounded. You lead with more calm because you know that your worth isn't tied to how much you get done. Simplifying your daily to-do list helps you step out of the constant striving and into a calmer, more regulated pace. You stop chasing the illusion that more tasks equal more value, and you start showing up from a place of self-assurance. That calm presence isn't just good for you, it's contagious. Your team, your family, your community feel it too. You model sustainable success for your team and for your future self. When you simplify, you set a different kind of standard. You show others that leadership doesn't require burnout. You create space for rest, recovery, and reflection. And when you do that, you give others permission to do the same. You're not just getting through today. You're creating rhythms that support the kind of life and leadership you want years from now. You stop running yourself into the ground trying to keep up, and you start rising into the leader you're meant to be. Trying to do it all is exhausting, and it keeps you small. But when you choose simplicity, you reclaim your voice, your vision, and your vitality. You shift from managing chaos to owning your capacity. From checking boxes to creating impact. You rise not because you've proven yourself to everyone else, but because you finally decided to honor what's true and necessary for you. Now, let's lead lightly with a daily to-do list that works for you. Remember, you don't need to prove your worth by how many boxes you check, and you don't need to carry everything alone to be seen as competent. You definitely don't need to hustle harder to lead well. A simplified daily to-do list is a quiet revolution. It's a declaration that your time, energy, and presence matter. That your leadership is about impact, not just output. That you get to decide what a successful day looks like. So here's your invitation. Try the 5-part framework for the next 7 days. Notice how your stress shifts. Notice how your focus sharpens. Notice how you feel in your body at the end of each day. Let go of the pressure to do it all. Pick up the power of doing what matters. You already lead well. Let's make it feel lighter. And I hadn't thought to do this, but it lends itself so well to a download. I think I'm going to take those 5 steps and put it into a download for you, and I'll stick it in the show notes below. So if it gives you a little bit of help to see the 5 steps written out on a piece of paper, you'll have it there, and you can use it. Now, if this episode spoke to you, I would love for you to share it with a friend who's running on empty, whose to-do list is longer than a freaking CVS receipt. We need more women leading from alignment, not adrenaline. And if you're ready to begin your burnout recovery journey, stay tuned. I'm launching a course called Frantic to Flourishing later this summer. Make sure you're on the email so you don't miss the launch. You can also grab some of our free tools. I've talked about the mental load reset. I'm going to build the 5 steps for the to-do list. I already have a weekly reset routine. Those are all over at womenleadwell.net and linked in the show notes below. They're a gentle, powerful way to begin reclaiming your capacity. Remember, joyful, sustainable, and authentic leadership is possible. You deserve to flourish. Until next time, I'm Becky Ham, and this is Joyfully Unstoppable.